Welcome to the Waxing Podcast. I'm Kirsten Getzelman, esthetician, educator, and your host. Each week, we'll dive into real conversations, industry tips, and the kind of advice every beauty pro should have in their back pocket. This show is sponsored by Enso, a woman and esthetician-founded brand bringing better options to everyday beauty pros. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back to the Waxing Podcast. My name is Kirsten. I am Tampa Waxer. God, I feel like I'm so many people. I'm Enso Wax. I'm the Waxing Podcast. I highly recommend you following all three. I'll love you forever. And I'm also, your host today. I'm going to be talking you through today's topic, which I'm really excited about. I'm excited about all of the topics because I just love being able to give my point of view. I think it's fun. So in today's topic, we're going to talk about waxing versus, and I'm going to say versus with like a hyphen and facials. And the reason I'm going to talk about this is because I'm going to talk about the reason I chose waxing. I'm going to talk about when I did both. And then I'm going to talk about what you should do or want to do if you want to do one versus the other, or if you want to incorporate both of them. I'm going to teach you how to do that too, because you can be a multi-faceted esthetician. You can win at it. I do recommend that you stay in one lane for like you're like known for, but I think there's ways that you can do both. So I'm going to teach you exactly what I mean by that. So I'm going to help you think critically about your service menu. Okay. I'm going to break down the real difference between waxing and skin services cost wise. And then I'm going to basically inspire you to niche down, or at least if you want to do both, to figure out how you can incorporate it with still feeling like you're giving one main thing to your platform, which I think is important. The better you niche, the more booked you get. The better you niche, the more booked you get. If you've been with me for a long time, you know I have these like random spurts of singing. Like I used to do that when I was little. Actually, I do it as an adult. And I feel like I've watched Roman start to do it. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm sorry, Roman. Okay. So let's get right into it. Let's just talk really about time versus like revenue, because this is kind of my big thing of why I switched. So just to give you some hindsight, I did facials when I first started in the industry. And then after waxing, I ended up doing hydrofacials, waxing, and some other like services as well. And then I eventually like just went back to waxing. So like I have my reasons why, but basically what I was noticing as an employee when I was waxing is I was making more money in shorter services than I was making in my facial appointments. And basically the reason why is because I got really fast at waxing. And when you can get really fast at waxing, you can book yourself so much more services in a row versus when I used to do facials. It wasn't even just like the facial time, which already felt very long, but it was the cleanup time. I needed time to like reset everything that I feel like is just a way faster turnaround time with waxing. So one of my big things I always say and why I love waxing so much, if you're somebody on the fence about waxing, so you're listening to this episode because you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do facials and waxing, then let me talk you into waxing for a second. So you can make anywhere from, I mean, depending on your location. So, like, I'm going to average it out at $60, but you can most definitely be charging more for a Brazilian. Some people charge a little bit less, but also with tip, we can average this out to like $75. So, you, if you wanted, could do 3 to 4 Brazilian waxes in 1 hour. And make so much more than doing one facial in 1 hour. And the reason why is because, again, you need all of that time to clean up for facials, but facial products are also a little bit higher in cost per use, especially if you're using machines. And waxing, it's just one of those things where like everything is so low cost. I'm talking like to the cents. Like every single thing that I use to do a wax, let's just use Brazilians as a thing, cost me under $1 to do for each item, and then my wax is like under $2 per service. So like your margins are insane. There's not really many treatments that you can do that keep your margins as low as waxing does. So that was kind of the reason why I liked it. I also really love focusing on Brazilians as well, because Brazilians just make the most money if you're talking about niching down even more. But for me, I just noticed as an employee that I was having more in my paycheck when I was doing all waxing days versus when I was doing facial days. So if you care about, just making money, that's my recommendation there. I also was able to work less hours and make just as, if not more money. So because the services are so quick and like bam, 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 I was able to see way more people than if I had just done like 4 facials that day. And that would take me 5 hours to do. If you want to work 8 hours, you could probably squeeze another 2 people in, but I wanted to work 4 hours and make it just as much. So that was another reason why I really, really love waxing. And you guys, this is like a waxing podcast. So like, duh, I'm going to like tell you the waxing's better. And again, less room setup, faster turnaround time, more tips. I think that's a big one because again, if you have 4 people all day long doing a facial, then you're getting tipped by 4 people. Or if you bring in 12 people, then you get tipped by 12. It just ends up being more money because you have some very generous people that love to get waxed. And that's why I like it too, because when people get Brazilian waxes, they like want to thank you for that. So sometimes they're like, you know what? Here's a big tip. So get a couple of those and you're going to have a really, really good day. Another reason why, and I'm going to get in, don't worry, facial lovers. I'm going to get into being a facialist and a waxer. So hang tight. Client retention and frequency. This was a really big one for me and a really easy way that and what I've learned over the years and why I like waxing so much is because waxing is one of those things to where if somebody wants to be a waxer client, then they do have to come to you every 4 to 5 weeks. It's like a guaranteed locked in price for you in terms of earning. Reverse, if somebody's like getting their skin done or something like that, let's say that they have to back away on some prices and treatments like that, that's like a very big purchase. So some people might drop off, or maybe their skin is where they want it to be. Yeah. But I love waxing because literally the hair grows back. So like your clients have to come back in order to get this service done. And I love it even more because usually when somebody becomes a waxer, meaning the client, that when they leave, they stop waxing, they'll go back to shaving, they truly miss all of the benefits of a wax, right? Like, yes, you can do it at home. No, I do not recommend it. Neither should you, because as we all know, it is seriously so freaking painful. My friend, she actually called me. She lives in Indianapolis and she called me one night because she had bought an at home waxing thing. And she was like, Kirsten, I never in my life again will do something so idiotic, because she literally could not get the wax off. So, like, I kind of love that because our job is just so tailored to professional only, unless you're like crazy. I've only met like a couple of clients that say they do it and it's like no problem at all. It's nuts. And then also, and I also want to point out that like waxing brings like much more emotional clients. And I don't mean like in what you talk about, but I just mean in the fact of like once somebody books you for a Brazilian wax, they are so much likely to just going to stick with you because they already feel uncomfortable in the first place. And so if you give them a great service, if you're funny, and if they vibe with you, they just want to be with you like forever. Like I always have people that are like, "Oh, I'm never leaving you. Like I don't ever want people to see me but you." And I'm like, "Cool." So that's also a plus. Now, this is the part where I told you facialists that I'm coming back for you, because if you're somebody who likes facials and waxing, there is a way to incorporate both. But first, you need to ask yourself which one is for you more. Which one would you rather be booked out with more? And then why I say that to you is because you should have both on your menu, but decide what you want to be known for and speak on that more. Pen that post to your reels, be known for one thing. And then when your clients get in and start to trust you, then you can add on services with them. I always say it's much cheaper to retain a current client than it is to get a new client. So this is like exactly what people mean when they say this. Basically, if you have somebody that's coming in for facials because you're known for like a holistic wash off facial, for instance, but you also offer waxing, it's so much easier to get that client to book a waxing appointment on top of their facial the next time than it is to, again, be known for so much and just start getting people from all over. So make sure that you figure out what you want to do, what you're known for. And then you can also add other services onto your booking site and onto whatever you want to offer. And then you can internally sell those, as well as, of course, dropping some like, here's what I do, here's what I do. But like all of your marketing, SEO, and all of that should be like honing in on like one thing that you do. This is just my opinion, by the way. I'm kind of saying this like people might not agree with this, but that's okay because the cool thing about being an esthetician is you can kind of do it your own way. But from what I have learned all of these years, this has kind of been like recommendation and like what I've seen. This is why picking my lane helped me grow. Again, I was doing facials, which was really great for a while because I was waxing and I was getting those waxers to convert to facialists. So there you go. Like and because my boss at the time ran like Google ads and things like that, of course I saw new clients, and plus it was like not my business. So it was like up to her to get new clients, and she was very successful at that. But I will tell you why picking my lane helped me grow is because waxing and facials are such different types of services, meaning like mentally. And so whenever I dropped doing facials, like I would like go into work and have like a facial, a wax, a facial, a wax. And it was just like so much on my mental health. Like I was like, how do I go from relaxing to waxing, from relaxing to waxing, and then educating on that versus educating on this. And once I picked my own lane, I just was like better overall. Again, some people like that kind of like back and forth because they don't want to be too tied down to one thing. So that's why I was saying there's definitely a place for all of you, but that's my experience with why picking my lane was more beneficial for me. It really just helped my all over like booking. Like I felt like clients referred people to me because they're like, oh no, she only exclusively waxes, so she's really good at it. Again, my brand identity strengthened because I became known for waxing, even though I was doing facials at one point. I just found that I did a better conversion when I just talked about the one thing that was getting me booked, which was waxing. And then, most importantly, you become the go to. So, whether you choose facials, whether you choose waxing, make sure that you become the go to for that thing. And then I promise you, once clients trust you to do one thing, they're going to trust you to do everything. Like once clients trust you to do one thing, they're going to trust you to do everything. And so I always say like it's such a good opportunity to like add new things slowly to your books, but I promise you clients will end up trusting you if you want to hone in on one thing and then offer other things. So I want to know, are you like a team only waxer? Are you a team waxer and facialist? I have really, really good friends in the industry that focus mostly on corrective skincare, but also offer waxing. And I will tell you, I know they do because I've talked to them about it, but they go in on their like, because they're more known for facials, and they go in on marketing with facials. And then those clients end up getting their brows done there. Like I have seen it from my own eyes that they can be successful and they are successful. And so like don't let me discourage you outside of doing facials and other services like waxing or just doing waxing, because you should do all of, you should do all of them if that's what your heart wants to do, but I think there is a right way to do it. So like I said, it was a facial versus waxing episode, but really it's a facial versus waxing versus facial and waxing, but just structuring it correct for your business. And let me know if you're team facial, team waxing, or team waxing and facials. I want to know so that I can keep curating my episodes for y'all. This one was going to be a quick one. So I'll see you next time. And don't forget to follow us on socials. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Waxing Podcast. If you found today's conversation helpful, be sure to follow the show and leave a review. It helps continue creating resources for beauty pros just like you. For updates and more, follow us on Instagram at the Waxing Podcast. I'll see you next week.